Mew and Gyarados was banned by the side of team Zenigame squad. They will be looking forward not to have that one Pokemon and the opposition side, but S8uL, what's gonna be the next Pokemon that they're gonna ban? It's an Umbreon in the question, and it's Hoopa on the other side for the Zenigame. They don't want any of the players to have their hands on that Hoopa for sure, but All Might and S8uL will have the first pick preference. Let's see what they bring up on the comp.
Now, I'm not too sure if it's All Might going to pick it up. It might be somebody else as well. As you can see, it has been switched and Snowy gets that Mimikyu. Now, Mimikyu was annoying for Zenigame, but Zenigame also played the Mimikyu. So they know how to play around it. Shadow Sneak is something that they have to be worried about. Quickly picking up a defender. Mostly, but with this Snowy, I think he's going to make sure that he catches as many of those supporters, speedsters as possible, use that Shadow Sneak and play rough immediately. Locking into the next on the Zenigame squad is going to be the Leafeon. Remember, the first game, Secure, was the Solar Blade, which did on Rayquaza, and that is the reason S8uL lost in their upper bracket finals game number 1. After that 2 games, they brought it back.
Yeah. And now it's time for the other 2 players to even come up with the picks. S8uL, he has been brilliant on that Zoroark, but this time definitely S8uL will have a read that how to counter it, because they will be prepared for S8uL to come up with a speedster or something different. But it seems like they are going for some all-rounder, but it's still very early to say. I mean, S8uL on that Blaziken has also been very much phenomenal against even S8uL Esports that we have seen previously in the upper bracket final. So now having the Trevenant on the other hand, All Might with that mighty Blastoise. It has been ages I've seen him play that Blastoise, and I love him playing on that. And Rex on that Crustle. It's going to be very interesting.
Top path in trouble right now. After All Might picking up the big bad Blastoise. Look at the mean look that it has. Umbreon has the mean look, but Umbreon is banned, right? And especially with the first gen Pokemons evolving at level 7, that is already a problem that Zenigame have to counter against. Now for that, they do have 2 tanks. S8uL will try to drag if he's playing a Hornbeach. I do want to see. But in the circuit, I've also seen certain of Pain Split as well as Curse coming through. So if Pain Split and Curse come through, then All might be in trouble, but he has the special attack specs coming through. Eldegoss on the other end to help. Now let's quickly talk about Secures, right? For me, there seems to be only this is 2 Secures for Zenigame. That is going to be the Overheat on Blaziken and the Solar Blade, which I already pointed out. But S8uL Esports, I'm not clearly sure. Now, All Might, if he comes with Water Spout, maybe another Secure with Hyper Voice, but Hyper Voice you have to be close by. We have not seen Mystical Fire, so I don't think we'll be seeing a Mystical Fire. But in the previous game, Necros, what the side of Zenigame bought were a Greninja also, which we don't like. Nobody in the Unite Esports circuit enjoys. And they made that play work. And now for them to come up here, no Greninja, but if they are brewing something, I hope S8uL are ready. Grand Finals Game 1 underway. Let's go!
Yeah, this is just the beginning. Whether we're going for a reset or not, it's still a big question. But for now, this is the start that they will be looking forward to it. The Mimikyu, Snowy, going for the farming area alongside Furo on the other end, just trying to level up his Leafeon. This is going to be a very head-on battle. There is a stack on that Blastoise, that's for sure. He's definitely will be going with the moveset of maybe the Rapid Spin and Hydro Pump, or maybe something like water. If he plays on Water Spout, that's a different scenario. But recently we have seen playing Hydro Pump and Rapid Spin very often. And if All Might is playing and trying to opt for that kind of strategy, it can be a good situation for them. But even on Trevenant, they're also playing on that stack build. So even Trevenant will be looking forward to complete his stack on an early basis.
Now, very early game, the Squirtle is a little annoying. The water gun not just does damage but also pushes you further away, stuns you, and that does give an opportunity for somebody else to take away the experience. For now, All Might just got an early stack. After that, that Squirtle has still not had a chance to evolve to the Wartortle. But on the other end, the Leafeon, fully evolved Eevee, is out moving to the top path. Dwebble right now hiding for none other than the Altaria and Swablu, but Swifty has already evolved. He is going to try and take away the experience. He's waiting for Dwebble to do the damage, and then I think Surf will come through. But there is the other Eevee on the other end. Sylveon also evolved, moved on the top path, finds the first KO, and they're committing into a fight. Mistake done, and they lose. They end up finding a KO on their own Eevee.
For now, this is a kind of situation that they will be looking for. Just suppress it as much as possible. They might have put a little bit of more level up for themselves, but that solar blade damage is gonna bring in some hefty amount of consequences. Using the Shedinja doll, trying to survive it, but still finds the KO as Zenigame squad. They starts off with a big blockbuster way.
Gets a lot of stacks because Zenigame were able to get control of the top path. It's a water spot build coming through. Skull Bash doesn't find value. There was a 5 stack that he could have done, but he thought maybe more players would come through up. Right as now, Kumbaskin gets KO'd. Not much HP to work with, but nonetheless, it's an early game HP KO. Not a lot of experience being taken away, but this contention at mid path is not stopping. They want to find that KO, but it is not being allowed. In the meantime, stacking coming through on both the top and the bottom because Zenigame were a little glued towards the mid path back. All Might gets an opportunity to use the jump pad, move away, but I'm not too sure if he's going to survive. He's making his best, even using the Salak berries as well to increase his speed. But for now, let's talk of the Altarian S8uL fight at the bottom. That is going to give a lot of experience for S8uL, and if they push up, might find KO. And that's the reason Blaziken backstops 50 on that slow bro. Will make sure that he will not move further as he acts as the front line. Right behind him is going to be Sora, who is going to be constantly healing him. Focus blast coming through Rock Tomb. This is going to maybe smudge them. Didn't happen. But no. For now, from the back lines, there is that Shadow Sneak. Rough play. Big damage on the Trevenant. But the Trevenant on leech. He moves him them into the Rock Tomb, but it doesn't work. There's the first KO. Make it a second. Krustle is also down. And only All Might survives. All 4 players gets KO'd at a stretch. And that is going to be big time now. Along with that, they will also get a chance to secure Reggie while they destroyed the Zone A on the bottom path. But that was I feel like a bad break, Necros. They could have overdunked only 19 and 9 of AOS energy being invested. They do get to 184. Maybe no complaints over there. But let's wait and watch because S8uL just secured a Regieleki for themselves, and look at that. A big 30 was about to be dunked. Revenant stops it with the Horn Leech.
I don't know, Lucifer, but it feels like Zenigame, they have that kind of, what heat in the moment, but the overheat completely messed it up. And this is the score. The Regieleki also hits the Zone A. The Sealgun will be pushing the players away, but the Unite 2 ML step coming in, but barely. He was trying to survive, but Mimikyu finds the Leafeon down, and even Dizapple has been taken down by Blissey.
This is a granted upper path fight by the Blaziken. Made a mistake of dragging the Regieleki in their own goal zone, making that goal zone vulnerable, and therefore look at this. Zone A of the top path on the side of Zenigame gets destroyed, and S8uL Esports get to 155. Before this, S8uL were just around 70 or 60 goals scored with the AS energy, but now they're almost about to equalize. 30 is the only difference. And now if they are able to stop somebody like the Blissey that they were able to, trying to catch, not able to, they don't manage to. 3 players try to chase it, but it does not work out. Now Zenigame will feel bad about it, but let's wait and watch if they'll be able to walk away from it, make it feel like it never happened. Big stun damage here for the Krustle. Unite being committed from Curem. Rock Tomb being used. They're smudged to the wall. Big damage. Leafeon can go down. Leafeon uses the Emerald 2-step, but the Krustle is not backing off from this fight. It is doing Scissor damage from the backline. There is the Mimikyu as well. Trevenant with a Hot Leash coming through to try and make his teammates survive, but the Hypo Voice, good to do, finds 2, make it a 3 very soon if they keep going like this, as the Leafeon does get punished for it. That's going to be a big 3 KO streak coming through, and S8uL again regaining path control, winning a team fight.
Yeah. For now, even the Regis has spawned, but the Hyper Voice, I really believe it can give a bit more damage in the means. I mean, the Sylveon, he's just trying to be in the back lines, but the Trevenant barely survives. That was a big move, but yes, this time the zone in the bottom lane will be broken down by S8uL Esports. Now the entire focus shifts towards Regis, and they will be looking forward to secure it no matter what it takes. But now, if you see Zenigame, they have their focus set on Regieleki. They might be looking forward to just melt it down in the right moment, because there are no more objectives that they can look forward to. But even for S8uL Esports, they're taking a little bit more time to make a quick decisions of what they're going to do.
3 minutes and 40 seconds on the clock. S8uL have a small lead for themselves. Regieleki on top. So far the Krustle has been really good. Rock Tomb, perfect. Smudging on the wall, not letting them do their work, perfect. On the other end, Zenigame. They've been trying to make a heyday for themselves where they win feeling themselves good, but it's not always working out. Now the Regieleki might be one of the last times before the final stretch fight, and S8uL would want to take it away. But that Trevenant is causing problem. Now there is the Eldegoss. Pretty sure there are more Pokemon, but right behind them there is the Mimikyu. But Mimikyu is the first to fall. Trev on the top path does go down. Therefore, the exchange on the KO is going to be equalized. But Mimikyu has a longer cooldown. Now this is a chance here for Zenigame to invest into the fight. Blastoise Rapid Spin coming through. He's going to push the players back. Again, using that Solar Blade doesn't find much value. But yes, on the Alterian Swablu, experience snatched away.
This is a situation that even S8uL Esports, you can just see they're being like very, very strategic at this moment. They're not blindly going for that Regieleki meltdown because they know that there will be a little bit of contention. Rex trying to get a lot more info about whether anybody is there in the tall grasses or not. But they will be waiting for the right moment to melt down the Regieleki, to push it towards the zone B. As Mimikyu starts it off, he will be looking forward to just get it done in the right moment because there's just 14 more seconds on the clock. But S8uL decides, nope, we're not going to opt for the Regieleki anymore.
Optum again. Less than 5 seconds to go. Swifty, if he gets caught, it's going to be trouble. Goal still the same from 3 minutes 30 seconds to now 2 minutes. Less than it. Rex tried to jump in for a fight. It did not work out. Players backed off from the side of Zenigame. Zenny, big Solar Blade coming through from Leafeon, but it was only on Rex. Blastoise coming in from the top. Nice water spout will force the Trev to move out, but the Rock Tomb, it catches a player. Now this can be trouble. Blaziken jumped in to save that Trevenant, and that does work out. Crustle again, eject, and oh no, that missed again. Rock Tomb missed. They ejected themselves. Blastoise invested in the Unite. It doesn't do much connection in terms of damage. Players from Zenigame giving them chance to move out. They do find one, that's the healer out, but I don't feel like this has given some value here for S8uL. But now S8uL, they're moving them out of the mid part to the bottom part, and if they keep doing this, it might just work out, Necros. They might win this fight, and it is working out. Trev is down. Leafeon from a distance is trying to survive. Blaziken also helping along with that, and now they decide we have moved a little further away from the final legendary pit at the mid. Let's move back into the mid. From there, we have already map control. Let's not give Zenigame any control anymore. That's again Eldegoss being KO'd, Slow being committed, but Slow Beam, there's nobody to make use of.
Oh, the 100 score is coming up from the side of Zenigame squad. Leafeon with a sneaky approach also denies the All Might's 100, but there are counter scores coming from S8uL Esports, but will that be enough? They are going for the Regieleki. Rayquaza meltdown for sure, but Badsha, that Hyper Voice has to do a big hefty damage. Slowbro is still in the contention. He might just find the KO on him for sure. But there are other players coming in the contention, and Leafeon might be the biggest trouble as Zenigame. They will be securing this Rayquaza. This is done, it seems. S8uL, they've crumbled down the first game.
Yeah, this was a little bit of a mess up. They did not expect the Leafeon, who they were keeping an eye on, to kind of lose that opportunity. Even I didn't see when that Leafeon immediately started swooping in and gets that 100. Because of that 100, you could see S8uL Esports knew that they were making a mistake. And then the Blissey also went for a 62, but that 62 was not enough. And then letting that Leafeon come and move into the late part of that final hit gave that Solar Blade the advantage. And Zenigame, they get that game number 1 against S8uL Esports. Oh, that is trouble here for S8uL. Who would have thought Zenigame will have a journey like this, defeat Godlike in round 1 of the upper bracket, and then win all their games till the upper bracket finals, and in upper bracket finals win game number 1 against S8uL, and now again after losing to S8uL in the upper bracket finals, come to the grand finals and still win the round or the game 1 in the grand finals, Necros.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the first time we're seeing this kind of situation, isn't it so, Lucifer? Because we've seen this kind of similar thing in India Open as well. 2 new teams, a lot of new faces coming in, playing the grand finals in a LAN. But now, Zenigame, can they win another round and push it to a grand final reset? Can the history that was made by S8uL Esports be repeated against them only? That's a big question mark, but this game was close until and unless that 100 came from Fura.
I think that was a very smart move coming in from Fura. And also S8uL, I think backing off over there gave a little bit of a breathing space for Zenigame. if they didn't back off as they were pushing them to the bottom path and their mid path of their own buffs, maybe that what would be our team name?
Mike Bleeders, let's go.
Mike Bleed? Oh, Mike Bleed. Okay, it could have been better in terms of finding a team. We could have been those annoying people on desk. Right? It could have been those interesting names, or it could be like always on mic, always talking team name. It's okay. Have to
See, you have got the creativity, man. I don't have that much creativity within myself, but you know, we'll come back to it later because the draft says there are these 4 Pokemons being banned: Gyarados, Hoopa, Mimikyu, as well as the Leafeon. S8uL doesn't want the Mimikyu to fall in the hands of Zenigame, and neither the Leafeon as well.
Now S8uL again bring back the Sylveon. Now Sylveon was, as we saw in the previous game, trying to get that last hit with a Hyper Voice, just not enough. Solar Blade's better. Leafeon being banned, S8uL will be happy about it, that Solar Boink is not going to be there. On the other end, Sora seems like, because Umbreon is not being banned this time, they will get that, meaning the wish on Umbreon is going to work out. On top of it, they do lock in the Mew as well for them, and that's going to be a Sadao with a long range secure that they can play for. Now Badshah, he is a very interesting player. One of the best Mew players when we were seeing in the 23 era of Unite, right? But here it seems like he's moved into different ranged attackers, but not the ranged attackers that we would want to see, which has been effective so far, right? The long ranged attackers. I can see your expression, Necros. Hold it. Pause. Just hold it until they lock it. And you see why I said hold it. It doesn't come through yet. So we'll talk about the Blaziken and the Trev, which has been locked from the S8uL side. Stacking is going to be there. Trev, let's see how it works out on the other end. Zoroark with a Comfy. Now we've seen how menacing and HP draining this apple is on his feint attack. Let's see if it fares through.
All Might brings up a Machamp. Now this is interesting. I mean, All Might on Buzzwole, he's unstoppable. All Might on Blastoise, he's unstoppable, and he was even unstoppable in the previous round as well. But All Might on Machamp, he's just not unstoppable, but he can literally wreck things in his own way. But on the other side, Fura, he locks a Scizor. Now we are talking. Now we are really talking. You know what? When Swifty changed from the Decidueye to the Comfy, my heart literally sank. But now as Fura picks up the Scizor, my heart is literally happy.
Let me give you a count here. Healing 1.
Yes.
Umbreon, Wish. Healing 2.
Yes.
Comfy. Healing 3.
Oh.
Scizor with a Sword Dance. What else do you need from... They are almost self-dependent as individuals. On the other end, S8uL have to completely depend on a Blissey for the whole of the team.
Oh man. The Comfy sticking with Scizor is itself a big impact.
No.
That's gonna make. Oh no! I'm going that way, Luzo. You can't stop me. I have seen this. I've played it. That Scizor sticking with that Comfy is the least that you would expect in your nightmare. S8uL. I don't know what's gonna happen, but my inner soul thinks like we are going for a grand final reset if it happens so. But now all the questions will be answered as the second round goes underway.
Round 2 here, Scizor has to quickly get to evolve from the Scyther. Same goes for Zoroark, has to evolve to Zoroark. Snowy also has to evolve from the teeny tiny Torchic towards the Blaziken. But we did see a couple of missteps coming in from Zenigame last time when they were playing the Blaziken. That Blaze Kick, through which they drag their own teammate, but right now All Might trying to run away. There's the slap, but that slap doesn't work, and that is going to be the Scyther finding a KO and will also get its dunks through. There's a little more Eos energy lying around, can go for a second stack, but the last hit comes in from the Comfy. Therefore, the stack will not be there for Fura as of now. However, gets another one. It decides to actually move back, not go in for the second stack.
Whenever I play the ranked matches, Lucifer, this is one of the biggest kind of duo I really fear about. Scizor and a Comfy.
And on
And
top
now
of
even
it, exactly,
it's a
Zoroark.
Zoroark. Oh my god, I don't know what to say, but look at that, it has already been started. The Shedinja doll might just bring some justice to the small Chansey, but Zoroark, he's just on a next level as the Zapple, he's just not stopping.
Getting his stacks through. Hyper Voice is there, but he'll quickly move out from the situation. Fura on the other end, I'm not too sure. I think maybe by the Blaziken, and yes, the Blaziken is invading for the buff. And so says this Apple. You're not the only one who can invade. I'll bring in a second invader. Umbreon also invades along with that Zoroark. But it seems like neither of them got the red buff, or I'm not too sure. Oh wait, they let that red buff through because that Chansey had not evolved, and therefore the Chansey immediately gets KO'd. Blissey yet to be evolved, but right as now an evolution which doesn't go through for a Scizor Necros. It is a Scyther build that they play. This is even more interesting. Recently Scyther got a buff, and therefore I want to see how this dual wing beat works. Along with that, maybe they're playing the double hit.
Oh my god. You can see so many thought processes are actually overflowing within ourselves, isn't it so? And now we are thinking, you know, this might be the moveset, this is how they're gonna play it. But, well, all the answers will be coming in front of us. But S8uL, they are seeming like to play more steadily and strategically this time.
It's going to be a tough game here. Honestly, for S8uL, looking at how Zenigame are building themselves. Blaziken not looking great, will be KO'd. Slow smoke being used. Sylveon also not going to survive. Quick hits coming in from Disciple, and big stacks as well as Umbreon gets itself. Scyther on the other end, the build that we were talking about, instant KO on that Machoke.
This is insane. This is
and
just
overdump of the
insane.
30.
Oh my god. Zapple alongside that Comfy is just wrecking everybody. The backlines being invaded is the biggest problem for S8uL right now, because Sylveon was always behind the defenders, behind the all-rounders, supporting them and providing the damage. And if that Sylveon is falling down, there is not a single all-round long-range attacker that can just save them. Even the healer goes down, commits the Unite. Blaziken gets Regivicky on the top, but for sure the Trevenant won't be surviving for a longer period of time. The Wooden Hammer won't be doing any hefty damage as the Trevenant goes down in the hands of Scyther. And Zenigame, they're just literally ripping things apart for S8uL Esports in the bottom lane.
Yeah, they're not giving them a mile, an inch, or nothing to play with. Zone A on the bottom path also being destroyed, but it was not an overtime, just a mere 8. However, the score difference of 198 to a 123, meaning around 75. And Disciple is not stopping on these invades. Glues both the Sylveon and Trev together to find a 2 KO, and now immediately backs off. Doesn't give the Blaziken anything to work with. Quick feint attack. Looks like the Blissey was about to be KO'd if it was not using its Unite. Mew now having a little bit of a tough situation, but look at the commit coming in from Disciple. He is not backing off. Mew on the other end committed an attack, therefore Mew does get hit and has to back off. Committing the floral fields right now, and Disciple, a 2 KO streak. Trev is also down, make it a third coming in with the help of the... Wait, actually Scyther finding one, and third, meaning 4 Pokemon were down on the side of S8uL. Zenigame are going big in this game too. Looks like we are about to hit the reset right now. But let's not call it quits as of now, because it's just the halfway mark, Necros, as we are reaching 5 minutes and 10 seconds.
I really still feel like the end, the final thing that can just change the tides and turn the tides, it's gonna be the Rayquaza flip. That's the only hope S8uL has, but oh my god, the stuns not working. This Apple is unstoppable. He is an unstoppable monster at this moment, but the Hyper Voice prevents the skull, and even Blaziken comes in, joins the party, might just come up with a feint attack, but the Sylveon might just face him a little bit of consequences. Badsha, he will be the next target, but the Trevenant hops in, and Zoroark still manages to just flee away from the position as Mew comes as a savior.
There was a 24 by Machamp on the top path. Scyther wants to chase that Machamp. Doesn't happen, successfully evades. Umbreon, they want to catch it. Oh, Mew also gets caught in between, but there's no attackers here, no damage dealers. Trev stuck right now. And if the Blissey cannot help the Trev, it's going to be tough. With the Horn Leech does come through, and the Blissey moves out, commits a Phantom Forest, and that Phantom Forest will be put to waste. Blissey does again move back to the bottom part, but what was this decision making? Now forced back with the Mystical Mirage is going to be the Mew, but in the meantime on the top, the Regieleki was secured from Zenigame at all fronts. Zenigame are looking unstoppable.
Overheat again, trying to push the Regiliki away, but I mean, doesn't it seem like, Lucifer, that S8uL, they don't have any control in this entire map? It's all about Zenigame.
Oh, what? Fura, he missed 3 players, now can be stuck. All Might doesn't get his opportunity with the cross chop. He tried to move in close. Nice wood hammers coming through. Fura might be stuck. That's going to be a lot of experience. Submission. Can he catch him? Yes, he does, and that's a KO. All Might gets a chance to evolve and level up to 12. There was some experience being lost. Now look at this commit from WCS. Wanted to find the KO but did not find as of now. But he's right behind the Sylveon. Before the Sylveon could go down, the Blissey goes, and now it's time for Sylveon as Blaziken also falls. Sylveon falls. That's a 2 KO streak, and less than a minute to go here for the final stretch, and we are about to take the Regi Eyes for free is Zenigame. However, S8uL, even with all of these battles so far, they've gotten the score close, Necros. 226 to 261, a difference of just 40 right now.
They've narrowed down, and even they have leveled up. Like the Machamp is on level 13, you can see the Blaziken on level 12. But the main two concerns is that the Zoroark is on level 14 and the Scyther is on level 13. Now that
about to be
is
14
gonna
as
make
well.
some, about to be 14 as well. So now this is going to be really concerning, because in the final stretch, these two can be the pure menace that you don't want to face. And even with the Comfy sticking to the Zoroark, just like his belt, it's gonna be very tough.
Umbreon hiding in the grasses for now towards the mid path around the Legendary Pit, gets caught out, has to run away, but there are 3 Pokemon surrounding him. He eventually dodges all of that. WCS right behind them, moves in with a feint attack very early on, uses the slow smoke, has to run away, commits the Unite and now runs away. That is maybe a big mistake being done here from the side of Zenigame. Might give an opportunity for the side of S8uL Esports to win this game out. That Unite might decide, might not. But WCS again tried his feint attack move. It did not work out. Too many players, and especially the front line from S8uL solid at this final fight, at least to start things off. Submission to catch off. It might put the end for WCS. Yes, that's Zoroark down immediately. Catching over with the Comfy is going to be the Umbreon. So Umbreon with the Comfy will survive. But now look at this comment. Scyther comes in, but immediately within the blink gets finished off by the Blaziken. 3 KO streak. Now it's all up to Umbreon and the Mew hiding in the grasses. 2 players to save this game.
That one solar beam could have done the damage, but Umbreon comes in, but no, it's Sylveon who secures it. S8uL, they keep themselves alive in this BO3 series as well, because the 100 dunks won't be ignored. Here the scores are yet to come, and they will come for sure. Another 200 being dumped. S8uL, they equalize this BO3 series to keep themselves alive in this first grand final matchup.
If that Blaziken had to come up alive in any position, that was the position to come up.
Yeah.
What a way for Blaziken to find that 3 KO streak, put everybody to rest, and now again a 2 KO streak. WCS will try to take down All Might, will do it, but look at the difference. It's a difference of 500, meaning all the 5 Pokemon from Zenigame need to have 50 AOS energy to win this counter goal, but that's not going to happen. Revenant is already guarding. All Zenigame is doing here is making sure that more dunks don't come through. WCS, he might be caught. Instant KO for him as well. Nice play, Blaziken as well as Sylveon. Now again trying to do the same thing. The overheat as well as the Blaze Kick doing damage, but this time doesn't find the second KO. Scyther finally puts him to rest, but Sylveon, he's still causing trouble. Badshah about to find another KO on that Comfy as well as Umbreon. Look at them barely surviving on that HP.
I really thought that they're gonna get the 2 KOs, like the Umbreon and Comfy both would have been got taken down if we had like one or two more seconds left. But what a comeback by S8uL Esports! That Rayquaza flip, that entire final stretch fight. I won't say the Rayquaza flip. It was only because WCS took 15 KOs throughout the match, but it all went in vain for that final fight where Snowy stepped up as the Blaziken, also with the help of Badshah. The Zoroark's KO was necessary, stopping WCS was necessary, and they got the breakthrough at the very perfect time that you can ever call out for.
Yeah, I think WCS thought maybe his teammates were nearby. After him committing the Unite, maybe somebody else would jump in, and that did not happen. After that, he also had a chance to again teleport back to base, get full health and come back into the fight. He rather doesn't do it. He again tries to swoop into the fight. Mistake again, second time being done. And that's where I think there was a call that everybody press your unites, jump into the fight. And once everybody tried to do that, everybody either got stuck and hit with the Blazicons, Blaze Kick, Focus Blast, or OIT. All of these 3 moves, or maybe itself the unite, the spinning Flame Kick or the spinning Flame Fist, one of them, and instantly, one after another, 3 Pokemon vanished, fainted right before Rayquaza, and that is where S8uL regained control. Otherwise, level difference, control, score, Gyarados being banned, make sure it doesn't work out. And now it is going to be Zenigame with the first pick. They ban out Gyarados. I want to see what S8uL Esports do. Do they go for a Mimikyu? Do they go for a Leafeon? And it is going to be a Leafeon from there. And they don't want that Leaf Boinks coming in at all from s8uL at any point. Immediate Mimikyu ban from Zenigame.
They also don't want those kind of hindrances for themselves, but what's going to be the final ban? Oh, it's a Comfy. Is it so? Ah, yeah, that's a Comfy ban coming up from S8uL. So they don't want, like, you might have a chance to pick the Zoroark, you might have a chance to pick the Scizor again, but no, you're not getting the Comfy, but that allows Zenigame to get that Hoopa for themselves.
At a point in Pokemon Unite, there was also a situation where we had to ban the overpowered Pokemons if we talk about the last year, but this time it is coming into becoming a player-specific ban or player-specific counter pick. And that's what these bans tell us. We could see with the Comfy how long a player could survive. First pick, we saw Hoopa immediately. Zenigame want to change the momentum of the game. Quick switches on top and bottom path. Let's see how it works out. On the other end, All Might bringing in again the Blastoise with Badshah, who has been consistently, consecutively playing on this Sylveon one after another. He is not stopping on it. But on the other end, quickly Zenigame going on a double defender, Trev as well as the Umbreon.
Even on the counter, you can see Rex picking up that Crustle Kyurem on that Eldegoss. And this is something that I have to think about. I really thought, All Might will be playing that Blaziken probably, or might be an all-rounder like maybe a Buzzball or something. I really expected for the Decider one, but s8uL and Fura. 2 interesting players with 2 interesting picks. Still, I'm going to wait for the final thing. Wait.
Pause.
I'm not going to get again. Oh my.
There you go, unpause, and it is a Cinderace coming in. We saw a Greninja from them. Now they're playing a Cinderace. What is this squad? Now there is a player called Cursed who we saw, I think, last year WCS 2023, and he was going hammering on everybody. Eventually couldn't get to the last stage. However, that Cinderace, is it going to be replicated here? Last pick coming in from the side of S8uL Esports is a Glaceon. Cinderace, Necroza, Cinderace. I'm pretty sure a lot of the people that we know are going to be excited by watching this game and this pick specifically.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, those Pyro Balls coming into the play. That's Cinderace we know in the rank.
Base kick.
Maybe. Like, you know what? Cinderace is some of that one long range attacker that you don't want to face in your opponents even in ranked games, because that actually gives hefty amount of damage. On the counter, there is Glaceon, there is Sylveon, but I don't know, somehow s8uL took a big gamble by taking the Cinderace. I really believe that he's confident enough to bring it on the table, and that too in a decider matchup.
High risk, high reward situation here. That's what the cards have been played from the side of Zenigame squad. Can they make it happen? Is this the final shot that they have? If they do it, the reset is about to happen. If they don't, it is going to be the S8uL Esports, who are going to be again India's best team in WCS 2024 in the Indian qualifiers. Game number 3 in the best of 3 series of grand finals underway in front of our screens. Both these teams looking forward to an opportunity to represent India. One team, the Dark Horses. The other team is the team which has already represented India once, looking forward to a second chance.
Yeah, for sure. And you can see All Might trying to get the stacks done on an early note, but he will be restricted. The headbutts might just not cause that much trouble, but for sure, feeling to just get those wild bunnies for himself. But All Might, we know, the best top laner in the entire Indian circuit that anybody can ask for. He's playing on that Blastoise, one of his favorite Pokemons for sure. That in the decider matchup, will he be able to find that same value? Will he be able to just lead his team towards this victory.
EVs to evolve. One end it has, it's the Sylveon. On the other end, we are still waiting for the Umbreon to evolve. Umbreon as well as the Trevenant. So the front line is still not being built. Altaria and Swablu fight on the top. All of it tries to get taken away. With the Glaceon, Icicle Spear, it also snatches some of the experience. 4 to an... But the HP not that great. Sylveon chases, finds the KO. So it's Crustle on bottom for now. Sylveon comes back. Cinderace slowly evolving. This bunny with a fiery football has a fiery stomach to win the game. Zenigame. This is a game that they have to prove worth all the efforts, and Swifty has to dig deep in his playbook to figure this victory out.
For sure. All Might looking forward for every opportunity to survive, but this is not the case. Hoopa is still there and they will be looking forward to get something better out of it. But the top lane is being contested very, very nicely by Zenigame.
Fight starts. Glaceon finds Travis down, but countering that, Blaziken almost tried. But Crustle comes in between, and therefore Blaziken doesn't get that KO on the Glaceon. Blaziken also decides to fall back. 20 seconds on the clock for the Regis to spawn, and then we are going to see a breakout for that. But before that, there's going to be, I think, an Altaria Swablu, and that's the thing that everybody's been waiting for. Yes, there's the Altaria and Swablu, but before you could see it on your screens, all that experience was taken away from the overheat. But right now, Blaziken chasing, wanted to take the Eldegoss, but then spots a Crustle, and with the X-Scissor will be forced back, and the Blaziken is stuck between multiple Pokemon of the side of S8uL Esports, and that Blaziken will be put to rest for now on the top path. But they're also going even further, push that Hoopa from the hyperspace hold. Trevenant does manage to go, but that Hoopa does end up getting KO'd. A big overdunk of a 30 to break zone A on the top path, and now they are going to also secure the bottom Reggie without any contention, because Zenigame were being forced on all ends. Glaceon going all out, overheat being dodged, and the Blaziken again being KO'd. Sylveon is making sure nobody gets closer to that Glaceon, and now that is control. S8uL Esports on good lead, even securing the top Regieleki. Zenigame squad under pressure completely from the side of S8uL Esports in this early game.
For sure, Lucifer. And it looks like All Might is a little bit angry and not in a sense of a little bit aggressive in his terms of games, and being on the Blastoise. Glaceon giving hefty amount of damage with those Icicle Spears, bringing up all the players in the top lane. It is necessary, but Blastoise, he might just be getting the Blaziken as well, but the Trevenant comes in the rescue. Hydro Typhoon being activated, finds the streak. Eldegoss also joins the party, and this is a big lead for S8uL Esports right here, right now. And even Crustles doesn't just step beside or steps aside, he gets an 11 dunk in the bottom zone A as well.
Let's go and see if this does work out. S8uL as of now a big lead, 246 to 12. Blaziken has not found any value. Kirim holding things off. Swifty also unable to find much. Quickly, let's talk about the levels. Way better level advantage here for the side of S8uL Esports. Two of them at level 11. Sadao caught. There's nowhere that he can run from. Commits a Unite to survive against All Might. Does survive after an eject. That was a big commit out of no value just for oneself. And that is how powerful S8uL Esports are looking in this game 3.
So far, they have done a tremendous job. Oh, Umbreon, he was waiting. Man was waiting for this moment for a longer period of time, but now he will be chased down. Just trying to divert the players of S8uL from this Regirock, it seems. But yes, the Cindy coming into the question. The Sylveon still trying to clear the tall grasses. The Glaceon also steps in. The Hyper Voice and the Icicle Spear should do the damage. But even now, the Cinderace might just be someone to cause some big trouble. But yes, the Umbreon has been put to rest. The Hoopa is still there, but the Cinderace might just be chased down, as all the 4 players have been KO'd one after another as they got chased down. And finally, another big hefty amount of scores being dunked by S8uL, making it up and over 300.
This is trouble here for Zenigame squad after putting up such a fabulous performance. They are nowhere to be seen in this game 3. They seem to be lost in this Thea Sky ruins, and it looks like S8uL Esports have decided enough is enough. This is time to regain control, get back to that global stage and represent India. Calling themselves the world's best team, committing for a team fight, a much needed here for Zenny squad. Hyperspace hole, caught the rings unbound Hoopa, will be gone back to base, but they'll come back into a fight. But none of them seem to be finding value. They've gone back to the Regiel key. Can they secure this Regiel key? Yes, the Sylveon commits its fate, and that doesn't find much of a value. However, Glaceon from the backline finds 2 KOs, pushing the forces of Zenigame against them. Even though they get an ally added for them, it doesn't matter. All their players, one after another, have been KO'd. It was only Blaziken to survive on the top. Regielity put down in vain. There is no use of that secure.
Yeah, and that is only because the kind of level buff that S8uL have created, the experience that they've gained, is helping them a lot in these kind of objective fights where they're just getting lead for themselves. But when it comes down, this is a situation that they need to handle. Umbreon, he needs to just step up front. He's still on level 10, and the others, if you see, the level 13 Sylveon and the Glaceon, the evolution is working perfectly for S8uL, followed by the Blastoise himself as All Might. 28 more seconds, 43 more seconds on the clock for the Rayquaza to come, but 23 more for the bottom Reggie to appear. But the Umbreon might be trapped, but the Hyperspace will instantly comes in for his rescue.
I think as of now, Zenigame squad, they're exhausted. Strats, the plays, the amount of games that they've played, that is causing them trouble. Only 12 AOS energy being dunked is all they had. Therefore, meaning they have not gotten their stacks through as well. There's a Reggie that spawned in the bottom for it, but they couldn't go for it. This is now the last and the final fight, the only stretch that Zenigame squad can do anything about. Otherwise, it is S8uL Esports winning it all.
For sure, Lucifer. This is the final stretch. Everybody, Zenigame, most importantly, they will be looking forward to it. S8uL know they have the prompt that they are in a huge lead, and they will look forward not to make any mistake.
They're trying to pull off the same strat that they did previously, going in for the top push. It doesn't work this time. Their Hoopa falls, meaning that strategy has been failed already. And now Trevenant looking low, one after another. If they find another KO here, their thought process and their victory will be put down in vain. Cinderace tried to move in with a feint attack, still jumping in, but barely surviving. Trevenant goes down, Cinderace goes down. That's 3 out of business right as of now. And S8uL, they have done just what they needed here to secure themselves the spot for the World Championship Series as the best Indian team. There is no space here for Zenigame to get back into the game. They have no chance. AOS energy not looking that great. The levels, they're still lacking. A 68 was dunked down here from Zenigame, but look at the difference. Hyperspace, rings unbound, again coming through, but Sora barely having any HP to survive. And now it's all a stack and a gamble fight on Rayquaza. If they do it, if Zenigame get this hit, last hit, then they have a chance. Otherwise, this game is done. 40 seconds on the clock. Let's see if there is some magic written here for Zenigame. Otherwise, it's done, as I said.
Yeah, the Crossel finally uses his Unite to push the players back, and the Rock Tomb is doing a wonderful job. The Blaziken is trapped. The overheat doesn't walk out. The Icicle Spear will do the damage. Blaziken is out. This is done and dusted. There is no way Zenigame can make a comeback out of it. And look at this. The 100 is inevitable. It goes all in as S8uL Esports. They march to reach the WCS 20 to become the WCS 2024 champions of the India qualifiers.
You could see how much they had to go through. Zenigame even made it almost clean, like that we had a reset. S8uL Esports are going to be the champions of the World Championship Series India qualifiers, as we mentioned. And now this is again a moment of pride. A team that is going to go to the international stage twice in the world stage. 2023 they made it happen. 2024 they're making it happen. Experience all around for these players. ACL, they have played their earlier roster before we saw Kyurem, Bacha and all joining this S8uL in 2023. Before that, they had a chance. After that, when they made this S8uL roster, till now they've been sticking together. They qualified then, they qualified now.
what a match, what a kind of twist they had when everybody thought that this is going to be very tough. The second match, I really believe, Lucifer, you know what, the second match was the only one where Zenigame could have just pulled out the best game, but they got completely taken down. The only chance, because this match, S8uL seemed like they don't care about what comp you're bringing, they don't care about what new Pokemon you're bringing in the Sky Ruins. They're determined and they did their A game, and that's the way they have dominated. 70,000 damage on All Might, 60,000 on Bacha, and 61 on Snowy. These three players literally took everything away from Zenigame. Even Rex